Okay, well, this is another update on the MazeQuest 2 for PC and handheld devices. And so I haven't been posting like a lot of videos lately because I've been really crunching on this, trying to get this thing, trying to get certain parts of it done. And, we don't have too much time, and I still got quite a bit to do. But anyway, I thought I'd post an update to show everybody like how it's coming along here. And we'll just go ahead and start a new game. Now, if you're wondering what that little line is above his head, that's basically another sprite. The program that I use to take all these sprites from individual graphics and combine them into one big sprite sheet, apparently it has a little bit of an issue there. For some reason, it was not quite lining them up correctly. So you're getting like the bottom of another sprite on his head. Basically, it should have cut that off. I'm not sure why it's like that. I'm gonna have to re-splice them basically, but it's not a big deal. Just in case you were wondering. Okay, so naming screen. You've probably seen all this if you watched my last video. And difficulty, easy, medium, hard. You're probably wondering, like, why are the buttons so big? That's really just because it's going to be for handheld devices and the PC. So if it were just for the PC, I'd make, like, I put tons of detail on each screen and I'd make everything really small. But you have to understand that if you're looking at it on a handheld device, you're going to want things large enough to be able to see them. Okay, so we got it working. It's you can go in here now. This is going to be like where you get kind of briefed. It's in the old version, you just went in and it was like you were in a shop or something, and it said you were in the castle, and then one of the characters came up to you or one of the characters just popped up in like a dialogue screen and said something. But in this one, you're going to actually go in the castle. You're going to be maybe like right here, and then the guy's going to come down and actually talk to you like normal dialogue thing. So I did a lot of okay, this is the same. The screen is the same, but the backpack looks different. It looks a lot more professional now. I kind of rearranged it so it looks better. I actually gave this button a place to actually hang out rather than have it like hang out in the in the ether there. So and item info screen looks better. It actually lists all the stuff there, all the relevant information for whatever type of item it is, including the number, how many, because you can stack items in this version, unlike the old version where you had each item slot. There were 99 slots in your inventory for items, and you could only put one of each item in each of those. So if you had more than 99 items, then you couldn't carry anymore. But in this one, there's actually no limit to how many items you can have, unless you fill so many. Somehow you fill so many items in your inventory that it's just somehow. I don't think you could do it realistically, but somehow you put so many items in your inventory that it just it goes above whatever RAM you have. Like I said, I don't think it's realistic. You can stack up to 99 of each item in each slot, so you could have 99 swords here and 99 of whatever. So I don't think there's a danger of you ever literally like thrashing your RAM because you just have too many items and the game crashes. I don't think that's possible. But it's nice not to have to worry about it on my end. So basically I just use a list and you just keep filling it up and filling it up and filling it up, and as many items you have, you can just keep scrolling down. But the fact that you can stack items means that you're not going to be using all this inventory space anyway. It's probably going to be, you're going to have a list of maybe 20 items or something because they stack. So anyway, so let's see, that's the backpack. Oh yeah, character screen. Character screen is still the same. This is stuff I'm going to probably have to redo in the new style eventually, like this this skills screen. Even this, I think I mean it's okay for now, but I think later on we'd want to probably update it. here's the new equip screen in the new style. This looks a lot more professional here. You can get the info on the item that's actually equipped, and you can just it just brings up the backpack when you want to look through your stuff and find something to equip here. And if you press none, then it unequips it. Right hand. Let's put a spear in there, and you bring up the spear info screen before you go to the equip, so you can actually see what you're equipping first. And then if you change your mind, you say no, I'm not going to equip that. Or let's say where you want to equip the bow. Take a look at the bow, then we hit equip, then it appears in that slot. And if it's two-handed item like a bow, or actually bow is not technically a two-handed item. A bow is kind of a special class that it requires the left hand to be to actually have you know, an arrow equipped. So if there's the left hand is something else, it automatically unequips the left hand. Anyway, you know, boots the same thing. We don't have another copy of boots, so put none, and there's our boots. So re-equip our boots. So that's how it's going to work. Now, like I said, keep in mind this is mobile devices too. So you know, if it was not mobile devices, then I'd have everything a lot smaller, and you know, you wouldn't have to click so many times. But yeah, for the mobile devices, you know, you have to have the buttons at least, you know, a certain size so you can actually click it with your finger. Otherwise, you know, you're gonna have trouble actually hitting it with your finger. And you know, this text has to be legible, so it has to be a certain size. So this is, you know, this is the setup I made, considering the fact that that we're also making this for mobile. And you can rename by that. Okay, so nothing that's new. Actually, the spell thing is kind of it's kind of messed up because I need to redo this too in the same style that I did the equip screen and everything like that, and the backpack screen. But anyway, let's show you something, some other things that are new here. Redid the dialogue. This, so yeah, this is what it looks like now. So just like in the old version where it had kind of a little bit of an animation where when it popped, you know, when you started talking to someone, it kind of popped up a little bit. I decided to do that here too. It took me an embarrassingly long time to get this to work because I'm using both the layers from the GUI and the layers from the actual sprites, and you can't really mix them for various reasons. And this is one complaint I found with Unity is the mixing of sprite elements and GUI elements. It gets kind of unworkable. And so I've got to have like those two elements separated, and then I've got to make two calls, one to the GUI, you know, layer that I have, say, okay, open this window. Then I'm going to make another call to the sprite layer and say, okay, open this window, because this layer, this graphic right here is sprite, this graphic is GUI. But the GUI, reason I'm using both, you know, both systems is because the GUI has things. You know, it has features that I want to use, and the sprite system also has features that I want to use. And because, yeah, well, you can see that just screwed up right there. Yeah, that's well, that's just me switching. It's just me switching into a different mode there, and this all of a sudden gets out of whack there. But anyway, so yeah, we have the GUI. These are GUI elements right here. And then we have, where is that? This element right here is a sprite element. So the background there, this right there is a sprite element. The reason I had to do that, it's a long story. It's a long, frustrating story, but basically it all came down to the sprite system that I'm using for the unit graphics, right? So I wanted to place a unit graphic over here, but I have to use the sprite system for the unit graphics, and the reason for that is because certain effects you can only really do with the sprite system. I'll give you an example here. Let's go find the sprites first of all. No. Map frame. There we go. Okay, let's say I'm going to, so this is, I redesigned like the sprites. Oh, you'll notice the bars there indicating like stats like health, this is magic, this is stamina, this is experience right here, but he doesn't have any experience, so it's empty. But anyway, but here's the thing, and you know, it's possible that I'm just inexperienced enough with Unity that I don't know all the tricks, and therefore I'm doing it, maybe I'm doing it the wrong way, but anyway, this is how I ended up doing it. Anyway, so you have, let me see here. Was it, hold on, maybe, wait a minute. Okay, sorting layer GUI. Okay. Yeah, it was the sprite, it had to do with the sprite material. Sprites, mask, sprites, where was it? I was trying to do a certain effect. Well, I don't know where it was, unfortunately. It had to do with the material I placed on there, and I wanted to do a certain effect. But anyway, I wanted to unify the, like, before I was using a different method of putting the sprites over the GUI object. They were GUI objects before, and but I wanted to make just a uniform unit graphics object for everything. The combat mode, sprites that I would have, you know, overlaid on for your party members, sprites that I would have in the dialogue. I wanted to have that be the same, using the same object that I could just copy everywhere, because then if I change something about, you know, how that object works, it would change it, you know, across the board, and I wouldn't have to go and make one version for the GUI, you know, another version for like the combat and the map and all that. So anyway, so basically I wanted a sprite right here, and so sprites, you can't put sprites over GUI objects without some really weird hacking, basically, or at least as far as I know. So I had to have this be a sprite because I couldn't put it over this. In fact, if I actually do try and pull that over, I'll show you the problem. This guy, let's see here. Let's move him down. Yeah, like that. I moved him down here, and whoop, I don't see him. Well, the GUI objects automatically appear over sprites, apparently. And like I said, you can, you know, if you really like dig deep in the engine, you can, in the Unity engine, you can manually force that to be to not happen. But it's really, I don't like the way, you know, I don't like the method that you'd be having to use there. I think it's a little bit hackish, and I try to stay away from that kind of stuff. So so basically I just put a sprite here, and then on top of that I put a GUI object, and I have to, yeah, if you could attach the sprite object to the GUI object and not have any weird stuff happen, then that would be fine. But unfortunately, when I tried to do that, weird stuff happened. So I'm not gonna, anyway, it was a big mess. But yeah, we got it. Let's see here. Hold on. Was there anything else to show? Yeah, overall I really like Unity, but there are some kinks in the system that you know, make things hard. But I think overall we like it. I like it. Let's see. I'm gonna hire some of these guys. I also need this pop-up screen. I think needs to be fixed a little bit. So this is a, you know. Before I had, I think I had these guys with a little bit different design. Oh yeah, I also had to make the GUI layer has a really easy text system that you could use to put letters on here. If you're putting the letters attached to a sprite object, the text attached to a sprite object, then you have to make like a text mesh and then a mesh text object or something like that. It's a little bit more complicated, but anyway, we did it. Anyway, so I'm just going to test this out a little bit. So you can still drag and drop, you know, your guys around to kind of reorganize them here. It doesn't really have any effect on like where they appear in battle or anything like that, but you know, you just, it's nice if you want this guy in front or something. It's not really technically in front, just, you know, Anyway, church, the church where you get healed has been redone a little bit. Yeah, and battle is a little bit screwed up because I screwed with the because you know, these unit objects I'm using a little bit different, and they haven't quite been fixed for battle. Here's battle mode right here. Yeah, well, first of all, you see them change from one sprite to another. That's bugged out there. It looks like the health, for some reason, the health isn't showing up. I haven't had time to really look at this and fix it. So, but anyway, this is how the battle will look here with the sprites on the hexes. It has, you know, a slot for their health, a slot for their magic, and this is their stamina. The turn order, I think I'm going to do, maybe not be shown, like in the old version I had like a little jewel that would slowly light up based on how close the unit's turn was. I don't know, I might fit something in here, but I'm not quite sure yet. You could also do something where the hex itself kind of starts to light up or something like that. It's not a big deal, but we'll figure something out. Eventually I'll oh yeah, and I did also change what I call the hex lens here. This little like jewel thing that kind of surrounds there. I spruced that up a little bit, as you can see. Yeah, it looks a little. I think it looks better. Yeah, so slowly but surely we're getting somewhere here. Let's go ahead and we'll auto-end the battle here. I'll auto-win the battle. There you go. This guy's going, wait, now I can open this chest. Okay, so opened it and got gold times 14. Yeah, that, oh, that's interesting. It played that sound twice for some reason. Yeah, it must have been just, I don't know. Little weird things happen, and you're like wondering why. Okay, this is a sign. In the old version, I had signs scattered out, but they were basically non-functional. They were meant to be functional, but I just never got around to it. But now they're functional. This, you know, it gives you a little bit of information, right? And that sound, when it pops up and goes away, that is a temporary sound. It's I couldn't find what I was looking for as far as the sound department goes. That was, you know, just free to download. But it should sound like you know, just a window opening and closing, you know, like one of those sound effects. And that was the best I could do. We'll fix that. But anyway, it looks okay. It looks professional. I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way. Let's see, that means I'm gonna have to fight some battles here because there are now enemies on the map. Ooh, okay. Still haven't plugged in, like the code for things like, you know, warping around and stuff is actually there, or could be there. I just haven't, you know, had the time to really put it in yet. Woo! Oh, no, he got me. But it's looking better, and it's definitely getting there. Although it's frustratingly slow. It's been frustratingly slow recently, especially because I have just I don't know. The engine's been fighting me a little bit with these, you know, different layers that you can't really put on top of each other. Let's see if this is broken. No, we're fine here too. Okay, that sign is not hooked up, so I can't look and see what that has. This is probably going to crash me though. No, it didn't. Okay, so these are locked, and oh yeah, there we are. Unassigned reference exception. Yeah. Okay, it was trying to find the text pop up that says, okay, you've unlocked this level of door, and it can't find it because I ripped it out. Now I remember. So yeah, so that's not going to happen. But anyway, this is map level 2 here. No enemies put in yet. But anyway, we can go from one map to another, of course. You know, we could do that before too. Also, the event system, which is what does the map change there. You see the, you know, the opening and the closing of the like, you know, the black box opening closing effect. That's an event, part of the map event system now, and I redid that, and it was a whole deal. It was a whole, God, it was a nightmare. But I got that done, so it's ready to do things like, you know, just kind of scripted events and stuff. That's supposed to be a chest later. Little secret there. Anyway, okay, so that's what I've been up to here. I'm gonna try and record some more of that Civ 4 today here in a minute. So it's probably gonna take me like tonight to actually upload it. So tomorrow morning it should be available. Anyway, all right. So thanks for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted on the progress on this game.